Hello again, everybody. This is John and Glenn with BestPriceNutrition.com. Today we're here to address something that comes up a lot in videos. It came up a lot recently. I just returned from vacation. There was a lot of these, more than usual, in the recent video. Specifically, Glenn, you did some videos by yourself.
Yeah.
And rather than question maybe some of the information you presented and stuff like that, people are asking, does he even lift? He's made no gains. Just really silly, juvenile things like that. First of all, that doesn't offend you per se, does it?
No.
You don't really care what somebody who you don't know says. But we just wanted to point out the fallacy in such an argument like that. Number one, you do lift, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
We both lift. You like beer, right?
Yes. Yes.
You like to eat, right?
Yes, I do.
So you're trying to balance out your lifestyle, right? You were saying
Correct.
you don't care to look like a bodybuilder, do you?
No, no. When I first got into supplements and weightlifting, that was what I really cared about, but now I really care about being healthy. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you're healthier if you lose weight, and I understand that. I'm finding a balance in my life. I do like craft beer. That's a passion, a hobby of mine. You could make fun of me for it, but that's just something I like, just akin to people who like building their body. I like craft beer, so I balance it off with workouts and beer, I guess.
Plus you're married, so
Yeah,
you
married,
don't have to worry about that.
Married, and I like to eat. Who doesn't?
And the biggest issue with this is it has nothing to do with his knowledge on the subject. He has plenty of knowledge. I do too, because in a lot of the videos, depending upon what shirt I'm wearing, either you're called skinny or do you even lift. One, I don't lift like a bodybuilder anymore. I used 2 years ago. You knew me before. I was bigger than I am now.
Yeah.
I was always lean. But I actually got into jiu-jitsu years back, and it was actually holding me back. My frame just doesn't carry that muscle well when I'm trying to perform well. So I'm about 175, 180 pounds now, and that's fine with me. It doesn't matter to me as much as it did when I was younger, per se. And that's not a critique on anyone else who does, because that's totally fine. I mean, we're in the business of supplements, and people, of course, if people care about it to that degree, that's fine. The point is it doesn't affect knowledge. I wear a shirt like this, I look like a normal guy. That's fine, if I take this off and I have now a tank top on, now am I a big guy? No, but I'll wear this shirt in a video different than another one, and all of a sudden people will think I just got smarter.
Yeah, it's all of a sudden people's viewpoint of what he's saying changes, and that shouldn't change. If we were up here giving bad supplement advice, bad advice in general, call us out on it, but what we're wearing or how we look, if we don't look like your typical bodybuilders, that shouldn't dictate what you believe and what we're saying.
Yeah, good or bad advice is independent of how somebody looks. This is not to dismiss experience, because experience gives people a different perspective.
Yeah.
However, you don't have to have specific experiences to have opinions or anything like that. And also, some of the biggest myths and idiotic information come from people who have good physiques, because people assume that those people put out good information, because it's just some of the stupid shit that is out there. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. And they only listen to it because, hey, the guy looks like that. He looks like that in spite of that. He probably has good genetics, or he's on gear, or whatever, okay? That doesn't mean A doesn't equal B always. I mean, these linear fields of logic don't matter. Now, back to the experience thing, what I want to point out with that is, if you have a kid in school and you're not a teacher, then you shouldn't have an opinion on your kid's education. Or, hey, you're on college, you should try cancer before treating you. You see the logical fallacies here? It's stupid. However, we can all use experience to have similar feelings about something or offer advice to somebody. For instance, I've never competed in a bodybuilding show. However, I compete regularly in grappling tournaments, so I know that feeling of when you're about to compete or you have a little trepidation. So I can lend that perspective to somebody, not specifically about a bodybuilding show, but about another competition. And we can all find examples of this in our lives where we can use those things. But that's not the same as knowing something well or anything.
Yeah, I wrestled in high school. I played football in high school and for a little bit in college, so I have some athletic background and I understand what it's like. Maybe not to go through a bodybuilding show or something like that.
But you could prep somebody. You know what to do. It's just, you may not. For instance, I don't know. I wouldn't be coaching somebody on how to pose for a bodybuilding show. I don't know about it. I've never bothered to look at it and figure it out. So you know what I mean. It's not an interest of mine. But some of the people who coach people maybe not have competed either, and they can be very good at coaching somebody. Bill Belichick, pretty good NFL coach. Don't think he played in the NFL.
Nope.
Fedor Emelianenko was the baddest man on the planet for 10 years. I bet you a lot of people will ask him out if he lifts. You know what I mean? Things like that. So I just think that's just the point, guys. Don't make those silly correlations. If you have a legitimate argument or something with something that we say that's wrong, that's cool. That's totally fine. But did you even lift, bro? I mean, it's childish. It's high school stuff. It does not address the topic. And we're definitely susceptible to being wrong. happy to point it out if we are about
And
something.
call
But-
us out if we're wrong. Don't ask if we lift, because I generally think we're giving good, solid information. If we're wrong, then call us out.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter what anybody looks like.
Yeah, like I said, it's independent of it. It's just this, again, it's this A to B logic and stuff like that. So I hope we address this for you guys. I know inevitably now there's going to be do you even lift stuff in the video, which will be funny, and a lot of it's laughable. I just pointed out because I think a lot of people miss out on some really good information because there's some really smart people out there who put out a lot of good information other than us, who if you saw them in jeans and a t-shirt, you wouldn't necessarily know that they lift. Like I said, they're not on steroids, or maybe they lost the genetic lottery, but maybe people lost the genetic lottery up here and won it here, but yet you're going to take advice from them when they can be telling you, again, some of the stupidest things I've ever heard have come from people with good physiques. And that's not to say that people who have good physiques are stupid or put out bad information. It's just to say that the one doesn't go with the other.
No.
So I hope this clears it up. So if you guys have any questions, as always, please post them in the comments section of the video or blog. We're happy to answer them, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.